to WRPB and WRPB Studios. I gotta tell you, this world keeps on changing and changing, and it makes it so much more difficult for the layperson like me to deal with certain issues that we have to deal with in the real world. And that's why I always say, always use a professional. And I'm going to tell you, my experiences in the industry that we're about to talk about really was miserable. So with me is Heath and Leanna from EP6 Group.
Yes.
And you guys are roofers.
Yes.
Well, you're a roofer, and you're the better looking one at kind of the front of the business.
I'm the chaos coordinator.
Okay. Heath, this is a crazy industry that you're in.
It is.
And insurance is making it crazier for you?
They are.
Okay, why?
Well, used to, the insurance companies would like for you to put a good roof on that lasted a long time. And over the years, you know, roofs went from 15 years to 20 years to 30 years. And on the shingle side of things, they even go, 40, 50 years. But in today's world, the insurance companies are coming in and they'll cancel you in 10 years if you have a nice shingle roof. We replaced one last week that was 32 years old. It was a 40-year shingle, still a nice roof, but the insurance company said, see ya.
Okay, and I find that really interesting because when you guys talk about roofs and you say shingle, I'm saying, oh my God, that's probably the bottom of the line, and probably a metal roof is probably the top of the line. Is that right? Is that right?
Well, to back up a little bit, 95% of our business are flat roofs. We do residential roofs that are metal and shingles.
Right.
Metal is the premier product. And if you go back and look at all the hurricanes that's gone on, and you look at the footage from Hurricane Michael, Irma, and you look at the houses that are left standing, they typically have a metal roof left on them. The other roofs are, usually the whole building's gone. The roof pops off and the building is gone.
Oh, wow.
But something common that you see among all that footage when the helicopters are flying around with the damages is the buildings left have metal roofs.
That's
so they
interesting.
are considered a premium product. But on the insurance side of things, we're seeing them get canceled at 20 years.
Wow. All right. Leanna.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been around this industry?
Well, we had a business in the Midwest.
Okay.
And we wanted to move to Florida with our children. So we decided to sell that portion and rebrand ourselves here. So I guess a total of
16
16 years.
Okay, so have you seen, like, on your side, which is the, for lack of a better word, the back end, the office work, the scheduling work, I'm guessing you're going to do all that. Is that what you do within the company?
Yes.
Okay. So you're the minority in a male-dominated field, I would think, correct?
I would agree somewhat, but I am starting to see a lot more women in the industry, and there is a lot of support for the women that are in the industry.
Is it a tough industry?
I don't know. You just have to do things right. I believe that there's a roofer on every corner.
Okay.
You have to differentiate between who's who, and who's reliable. So, but going back, I mean, I enjoy what I do. I really wasn't involved before a whole lot, and so when we rebranded ourselves and he said, you want to do this together? I said, yeah, I do want to be involved, and I enjoy it.
When I started this company 26 years ago, my wife was involved, and she was in the back end. I would write a review, I'd send it to her, and she would spend 4.5 hours correcting all my spelling mistakes and all my grammar, okay? I remember calling her because I needed something done immediately. She was in Walmart. She lived in Indiana at the time. And she would leave her car right in the middle and go home, because I don't know that you can get better support than family most of the time. Okay? Because it's basically, it goes together. It's one and the same. And it's like, all right, I got to help you make it. Otherwise, we both don't make it. All right. So you decide to come and be more of an intricate part within the company.
Yes.
So exactly what do you do? Besides tell him what to do.
Well, I mean, most of your typical office work.
Right.
I try to build a relationship with our clients, taking the time to go through the extra little steps, especially if they're a homeowner. So that's, making sure that they're picking out the right color, that they're getting the right product. And um, I think that with both of us involved, it is run as a small family business, which is truly important in today's world, because that's where the quality and the craftsmanship and the all of the things that make a good roofing company good.
Right. And I think,
So roofing is like a can of Coke.
okay,
So what's the difference in a can of Coke I have there and a can of Coke you have there? Is it the same?
I don't think so, but maybe.
So what differentiates roofers are the service that they provide.
I get that.
So
I get that, because even realtors, here's roofers. What makes you stand here? One of the things, and one of the reasons I brought you guys on, is because I've had some not so great experiences with people not showing. And we're finding a lot of that in today's day and age. Hey, yeah, I'm going to do this, and nobody shows. I think you don't get that feel with a smaller company, okay? Because you get that one-on-one that you were talking about.
Yes.
It's not like, hey, let's just get him in and then get the next one out. And I'm talking about that today when I have a bunch of people coming in out of the studio. But I make sure that it works.
Right.
Because we're a small company. So you guys got to make sure it works so that you don't get tackled over by the big companies that spend $4 gazillion in advertising. Okay? And then can't deliver. One line I use here always is always use a professional. Always use a professional. Okay. So
Well, I was going to say,
Go ahead.
we were going to get out of roofing. We were going to try to buy another company and do something a little bit different. And over, we kept hearing about roofing nightmares and the needs and the lack of, like you said, there's no shows. And so when he decided, he's a mechanical engineer by trade.
Oh,
So
wow.
when he decided not to go back into engineering, we were like, well, I guess we're going to do roofing again, So that was...
you spend half your life trying to figure out why you got into it, and the other half trying to figure out how to get out of it.
And it's interesting you said, because this was not my thing. Okay, I was always been in sales. One day, me and this other guy worked for a company. We were making great money, and we decided we were selling cell phones. And we got on the air with AAA on someone else's show, and spoke about cell phone safety. 26 years ago. When we walked out, we looked at each other and said, "We got to do this." And we bought an hour time. 3 weeks later, we bought another hour time. 3 months later, we quit our $70,000 a year jobs to do this full time. He left like an idiot. I stayed because if you guys don't know it and haven't heard it from me, I'm going to tell it to you again. As an entrepreneur, we make about $1.80 an hour, okay? And it's not
Before taxes.
before tax. And it's not. We have other things to do. Business doesn't end from 9 to 5 or whatever time you start. We have bills to pay. Your insurance got to be through the roof, okay? I mean, you have things that you're responsible for that most people don't see,
No, they don't.
okay? And I don't know, like my wife sheds me from some of the stuff so I don't have to see some of it. Do you keep those things and do those things so that he can focus on what he needs to do?
I hope so. I try. I don't know if that's really my job as behind the scenes lady, but I think as his wife, yes. So.
Yeah, I mean, because look, it takes when I drive to work and it's the middle of summer and I see someone working on a roof, I say, how lucky am I that I'm in an air conditioned car and soon I'll be in an air conditioned place. Were you born in Florida?
No,
All right, where were you born?
Midwest.
Okay, so was it hard for you to adapt to these temperatures and doing what you do?
Working along the coastlines in Florida is great. It's about the same temperature as Illinois,
Okay,
except you always have that constant breeze.
because you're by the water.
But you get out in the middle of Orlando and there's no breeze, and then you start having you might think about moving to Michigan sometimes, But, I always tell my employees that a lot of people will go out and pay for a tanning package up north so that they tan, or they'll go to Planet Fitness and buy a workout plan or something. But with our company, it's
You get painted. You
free
don't have to pay them.
suntans and free workout plans.
Okay. Roofs, and I'm going to use words that probably don't fit within your industry, but you could correct me. Roofs are strapped down a certain way, correct? Or however you want to call it. And what I've heard was it needed like these 2 tie downs or 2 nails in the strap, and now you need 3 or 4. Are those restrictions that are put on you by insurance companies so that the roofs are inspected and pass?
That's really not in my trade per se. I'm a re-roofer.
Okay.
And what happens is insurance companies will want a wind mitigation performed.
Right.
And a lot of times they're missing the strap. And so there are companies that will come around and add the straps that hold the rafters to the walls.
Okay. You did say, okay.
We're above the rafters.
Okay. And you did say that you do a lot of flat roofs.
Correct.
Okay. People might think that, you do a flat roof, you just lay the stuff down, but it's really not as simple as that, because I've been on flat roofs, and I've droned flat roofs for people, and there's a major issue there. If they're not a flat roof that's pretty level, or a way for the water to go somewhere, it's going to pile up and sit, right? Is that what happens?
So that's a common misconception with folks, is that you think a flat, why would anybody put a flat roof on that's going to hold water? The code says positive drainage. So what you look for is the slope might be less than, a 1/16 of an inch slope, but you're still getting a positive flow off the edge of the roof. So it's not supposed to sit there and pond water.
And that's, I would guess that's really a negative to a roof, is water that ponds.
Correct.
And I see it a ton of times.
Certain products are not manufactured to withstand any sort of water, and they'll break down, and that's why flat roofs fail.
When it comes to flat roofs, in your opinion, the best kind of roof to do for a commercial or industrial building?
I personally like flat roofs, and I keep trying to talk her into putting one on our house.
Okay.
Because that's what I do for a living.
Right.
And I understand them very well, and I understand how they work. So for me to put down a flat roof, it's easy to put down a very nice one that's going to withstand the wind uplift requirements. It's not a matter of going up there and rolling out a product and sticking it down. There's more to it.
Well, people will think that that's what it is. People say, yeah, I could paint. I'll just take a roller and paint. But there's cut-ins and stuff that it takes a professional. We're going to the top of our time. How do people find you? You have a website?
Yeah.
Which is?
www.ep6group.com.
And a phone number?
772-332-9100.
Are you the one answering the phones?
Sometimes.
Okay. I know you're not answering phones. Do you spend a lot of time in the office at all?
I try not to.
I don't blame you.
He's the jack of all trades.
All right.
With our company, we don't subcontract. So
Okay.
you pretty much see his face from the time that we come see you till the end of the job.
Everybody, it's EP6 Group, okay? Over and above that, it's an issue of use a professional. It's got to be a nightmare for people to do their own stuff on a roof, because I got to believe it's not as simple as it looks, okay? And this is how it is for guys. I'll take care of it, okay? Why do you have to remind me every 3 months, okay? But when we do it, we think it's the easiest job in the world. And then it becomes the hardest job in the world, and then we do it, and then we have to come in and fix it, what we do. Now, in roofing, you have that, no big deal. But you know what I'm saying about everything else, no matter how handy you are. Always use a professional. Roofing today is super, super important when it comes to insurance companies and
Yes.
insurance. Everybody check them out. Guys, we'll be right back. Thank you.